If you got someone to pick out their favourite Shaman King chapters, they'd honestly probably look at you and say that they haven't read it. But for those who have, Osorezan Revoir is always near the top of that list. You may have gathered from the last video that the heart of Shaman King is the reason why this series means as much to me as it does. In no arc is that seen better than the beautifully realised Osorezan Revoir chapters, which is what we are looking at today. Why these 13 chapters are so important to the message of Shaman King, and how this series is vastly improved because of them. For reference, these are chapters 163 through 176, which are tied to this beautiful poem at the end of the arc. You better believe we're going to be bougie enough to read the whole thing at the end of the video. This video is going to be more of a discussion around the chapters themselves, rather than just going through them chapter by chapter. It is definitely worth your time reading them if you haven't, and there are some dramatic readings of the chapters done by some other creators if that is more your speed. I'll put some links in the description. Let's begin by setting the stage. It's the early mid-days of the Shaman fight, and Tao Ren has just been killed by some of Hao's goons. In order to bring him back to life, Yo makes a deal with the X-Laws. He will forfeit the Shaman fight in exchange for the maiden resurrecting Ren. Yo forfeits, and then we go straight into Osorezan. If you look broadly at writing, there is two different results you can go for: to extend or to expand. To extend is to continue the plot, the next event or revelation. To expand is to give more detail into what's already been established. For example, the boy walked to the door. Opening the door, he sees a ghost. The ghost scares the boy, so he runs away. The wind blows through his hair into his eyes, masking the way ahead. He could only stumble blindly forward, terrors of the ghost's visage still clear in his mind. Basic example, but you can see how Osorezan is an expand arc. The point of this arc is twofold. One is to develop the history of Yo and Anna. Secondly is to explain some of Hao's backstory, which will tie directly into the ending. Neither progress the main plot in the Shaman fight, but are instrumental in defining why we are invested. So, what is the arc and why does it work? This arc picks up with 10-year-old Yo and is essentially the story of how Yo and Anna meet and fall in love. Anna being Yo's fiancée and, miraculously, a female character in a shonen series that isn't hot garbage. The other side of this arc is developing this new character, Matamune, this well-to-do spirit, and how he ties into the history of Hao. Most people, when they read this, will be more focused on the former, so let's do that first as part 1, and then Matamune's side as part 2. Yo's understandably a bit out of his depth to begin with. He's just been told he's going to marry this girl he's never met before, and he hasn't even talked to girls outside his own family before. Matamune tells Yo that the person waiting for him wouldn't let him feel lonely again. However, when they first meet, Anna tells Yo to go and die. For Yo, it was love at first sight though, so not the greatest start for him. Most of the focus though is really on Anna's unique situation. She's been trained by Yo's grandmother and is basically a prodigy in what she does. The problem is, she can read minds. Sounds like a pretty cool power, but how this works in Shaman King is that the person automatically feels the strong emotions around them. For Anna, she doesn't have any good memories, so all of the emotions she can understand are hate. Anna's life has been similar to Yo's in that regard. She has been alone for all of her life and can't connect to people because of this ability that she has. What makes the situation worse is that Anna gets so overwhelmed by these emotions around her that she unconsciously summons Onis. Onis being manifestations of negative emotion, automatically attacking those who don't understand that emotion. So when you have someone who is stuck in hate and being hated, meeting Yo who sure doesn't like humans, but doesn't hate them, the Oni is sure to attack. Sure enough, they attack Yo one day while they are both out. Yo, despite being pretty sure that Anna is related to the Onis, immediately moves to defend her, drawing a sword against a rampaging spirit that will most likely kill him. But Yo moves immediately anyway, yelling for Anna to run to safety. Anna, shocked that someone would do something like that for her, screams for Yo to get away, and in doing so, dematerializes the Oni, much to her surprise. After arriving back home, the two watch TV together, which is their first time hanging out voluntarily. Yo starts sympathizing with her situation and gives away more of his feelings than he thought, almost forgetting that Anna can read his mind and automatically feel any strong emotions that he has. This panel is really the turning point of their relationship. I've always read this as it's both Yo accepting who Anna is and her realizing the genuine care that he's already gained for her, but also the deep loneliness that Yo carries coming through in his thoughts, a feeling that Anna knows all too well. Again, making Yo's pain into his greatest strength for connecting to others. Yo makes a plan to take her to the temple for New Year's prayers. Apparently, praying at temples are most effective at New Year's, and so everyone's going, recognizing that Anna wants to pray for the gods to settle her power. If it doesn't work, then Yo promises he will become the Shaman King to settle her power if that's what it takes. The meaning of this is that Yo will essentially fight to become God to take care of the person he holds dear. When they go to the temple, the emotion and the people are just too much for Anna, and she gets overwhelmed, causing hundreds of Oni to spawn. Matamune does his best to cut them all down, but then they start cannibalizing to form Mega Chad Oni.
It's my brand new studded heir. Oh my god, he looks so cool. He's a Mega Chad, really. Just look at him. Mega Chad. Bam.
In order to best it, Matamune spends all of his Furyoku to become this Oversoul sword that Yo can use. This time, actually fighting the Oni with the sword like he was just going to do a few days ago. This is the final straw for Anna, who admits that she's starting to love Yo, and in doing so, causes the Mega Chad to dematerialize. The next day, Yo gets on the train home when Anna gets on board too. She says thank you for everything that he did before getting off at the next stop. This ends Osorezan Revoir. Let's talk Matamune and Hao. A lot of parallels are made between Anna and Hao. Anna has the same power, meaning that Hao can also read minds and emotions just like Anna does, although he's been doing it across 3 different lives or incarnations at this point. Yo's grandmother and Matamune infer that Anna's power is something that could become dangerous. It's like that they're worried Anna could become another Hao. We know from the rest of the series that Anna is actually one of the most powerful characters, so it's not a far-fetched idea at all that she could become the next Hao. Going through some of Hao's backstory with Matamune, Hao was consumed by the grudges and the hatred of the world around him. This was during his first life as an Asakura where he met Matamune, giving Matamune the necklace that Yo now wears, imbuing it with his own power, meaning that Matamune could live a spiritual existence instead of just being a regular cat. When Yo has his final battle with the Mega Chad Oni, Matamune has to burn through all of that power to win, burning through all of the time that he had left. Yo promises that when he becomes as strong as Hao, they will meet again. There's a lot of things that are interesting about Matamune. Another one I just want to pick out from these chapters is that he's created, in a sense, while Hao was an Asakura in his first life. When Hao reincarnates as a patch 500 years later, Matamune is there and is the one that helps kill him. Now he regrets not believing in the heart of Hao and doing something so drastic as to kill him. He tells all of this to Yo, which, funnily enough, ties straight into the ending of Shaman King. This whole arc is honestly just such a well-realized story about 2 people connecting over their shared experience of being outcasts. While it's easy to just enjoy seeing that connection be developed, there is also all of these ties to the rest of the series. Why Yo's Oversoul is a sword, why he carries that necklace, why he has a focus on solving his conflicts through emotion rather than fighting, and why, right at the end, he knows he can break through to Hao's emotion. To finish up, what is an Osorezan Revoir? Well, obviously, Osorezan refers to the place, the mountain that connects the living world to hell, the setting of the arc. Revoir translates to see again in French. Also, Takei puts in this final breakdown of what voir and au revoir means in the final panel, so it's important. What I think is trying to be shown is that revoir is the halfway point between the 2 words. It is both a meeting and a goodbye to those who have been met for the first time and those they are hoping to see again. To myself, after around 1,000 years, I can finally break away from these lonely feelings, even if not forever. Even if not forever. This weak heart, I can finally tear off this heavy shell. Even if there is no grave. Even if there is no grave. Living amongst mankind and still feeling sorrowful, greeting each new year with feelings of happiness. Love is the meeting, the separation. It's a transparent piece of cloth. Osorezan Revoir. Though I am unworthy, it's the joy of supremacy to scatter and spread, that although I might appear lifeless, it does not bother me. So won't you show me a smile or two? That song that will never become a tender attachment to the heart, with this will come to an end. What is that country that shines from above? May it be where the Kasidi Gaba is. Love is the meeting, the separation. It's a transparent piece of cloth. Osorezan Revoir, Osorezan Au revoir. To Anasan. The black 1,000 paper cranes, that person quietly carries a heavy, lonely mystery during the night, even if unfoldable, even if unfoldable. The black 1,000 paper cranes, that person quietly carries a heavy, lonely mystery during the day, even if unfoldable, even if unfoldable. Unwavering, unshaken, holding pride, excessively wanting bromide. Love is the meeting, the separation. It's a transparent piece of cloth. Osorezan Revoir. To Yosan. The person who is waiting for you surely won't let you have any lonely feelings. At least. The person who you are meeting surely won't let you have any lonely feelings. At least. Miserable and abandoned on the road. Halfway through the trip, lost all will and hope. Love is the meeting, the separation. It's a transparent piece of cloth. Osorezan Revoir. If you're interested in the story retelling of this arc, you should try this video here by Shinjin SaKaKi. They've gone through and dubbed the whole arc with voices and sound effects, and it's probably the best you'll find on YouTube at the moment. Otherwise, thanks for watching. This has been SeaGee, and I'll see you G's in the next one.